Follow at Bawoodja and you'll be alright.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? All right, man. Let me know if there's any issues. Last time I did this whole thing and you couldn't hear any audio, so definitely let me know what's going on out there. Hope all y'all doing okay. Checking in to these markets. We got the FOMC meeting coming up tomorrow morning, and most likely we're looking at, there's an 85% chance that the Fed raises by 0.75%, and I think it was like a 15% chance, 13% chance they raise a full point. So we'll have to see what happens when they actually come out and do it. So I'm really just kind of kicking it, hanging out. If y'all got any questions or comments, want to chat about it, drop some comments below. But other than that, yeah, I'm just gonna go through some tokens here and look at the market. Let me go ahead and add my screen in. Bow. Cool. No, not that one. There we go. All right, so let's go through them. So I'm just on CoinGecko right now. I want to see what some of the bigger movers are. We had the merge, a successful ETH merge. It was a sell the news event. I definitely did say that in my last video, saying that, you know, anytime, especially when you're in a bear market, you know, bullish news doesn't really hit home the way it probably should. So classic sell the news event. ETH has been down about 15% over the last 7 days, which is pretty rough out there. The market is heading down. Bitcoin down 6% over the last 7 days. What are some of the other big ones? Solana down 4%, Polkadot down 10%. If you care about Shiba Inu, down 12%. Avalanche down 11%. Chainlink only down 1% over the past 7 days. Near Protocol down 12.8%, so almost 13%. So Near is kind of making a lot of waves. It has a lot of traction going on right now. Shout out to my good brother Houston in the building. Hashtag don't forget to pay. So Near has had a lot of good news going on. I know they had their NearCon conference that just came out, or it's coming out. Actually, I'm not sure. Let me double check that before I start lying to y'all. Let's see when that was. The NearCon beta. September 11th. Yeah. So it just passed. That's what I thought. So I had some bullish news from that. Let me keep going through here. What else do we have that's kind of making big moves to the downside? And then we'll go over the upside ones. Terra Luna Classic down 20% on the past 7 days. I don't know if anyone's still messing around or trading Luna. I haven't suggested it. I already got my heart broken with Anchor and Luna, so you know how that goes. Okay, now some surprises on the other side, right? So let's flip to the bullish, a few bullish tokens. So we got ApeCoin up 11% over the past 7 days. They had a little bit of news about their metaverse come out. We got Chili's up 25% over the past 7 days. And I believe it was Algorand was the other one I saw. Oh, XRP is actually up 24% over the past 7 days. And Algorand, where is it? Up 11.8%. So there are a few tokens that are still trying to fight it out, but overall the market is pointing towards the downside. So let's hop into some actual charts here. And I'm just going to go through all these charts because, you know, it's a bear market. We ain't got nothing better to do. So probably going to have to remove everything. And we'll do it on a daily. Do this on a daily. Alright, give me 1 second here. Grab this. Throw this into here. Okay. Daily. And yeah, we'll just go through XRP, like I said, up 25% over the past 7 days. We're going to just look at the daily charts. Alright, we're going to define ranges. After we define the range, we're going to see what areas need to either hold or break to the up or downside, right? So first thing we're going to do is throw in a little support here. right? Why is this support? Because we got this area over here where it came down and touched it previously, right? So it came down, wick down here before. It came down, tried to do it again in this area. Right, when it happened right there. And then eventually it did actually break down. Right here, right? Alright, but since it did break down there, it's found a new bottom. So we'll go ahead and throw in another line of support. So right now, technically, you can say we're within the range of 28 cents to 51 cents. And this is on XRP again. You can see it on the top left, right? And then let's just throw in a quick trend line. You can't even really follow this. So we're actually not going to use that. But we are going to take our last top side zone, which is right here, right? And we're going to mark that off. Just grab a rectangle. And so I'm just putting in a box around this area. Boom. Around this area right here, right? And the reason why is because it had made a little floor there, and then it finally capitulated and broke down. And when it broke down, it broke through this level of support, and it found a new level of support. Right, so I have both levels of support marked off, and now I'm looking at the top side. This is where it needs to get back to try to see some type of bullish sentiment, right? Change up market structure. We're always talking about market structure. All right, so just so you know why I'm drawing the box there. And again, drawing the box there because that was the last top side where it tried to bounce back up. And so if it is going to try to make a higher high, it would have to take out that area, right? Same could be said with this resistance right now, sitting at 51 cents. Let me throw this in here. Boom. R. R is for what? Resistance. Meaning that it's going to try to hold it down. And then we'll change this to green. We'll make this a S. And this one is trying to hold it up. All right, easy enough. All right, cool. So keep going through. So what move would that need to be from here? Let's do a percentage mark. 56% just to try to come back in, change market structure, move up to the previous resistance. Let's see what that would be like. About 25%. And now we're going to throw a fib retracement on from this high to this low down here. Right? So this was our previous high. And now we're coming down to this low. Take some of these off. Give me 1 second. All right, so I know it's starting to get marked up now, but try to stay with it. Now you can see the 618 is right at that 51 cents level. So now we have two things of confluence, right? We have a resistance level sitting at 51 cents, and we have the 618 sitting at 51 cents. So both are acting as resistance. So there's two things we would have to overcome to get above that. That's huge. Definitely something that you want to know and keep in the back of your mind. Also, we're currently sitting at a little bit of resistance here at the 0.38. So in a bullish scenario, what you would want to see, maybe you're bouncing around here for a second and then you break to the upside. Once you get above this 6.8, you're going to have a big battle because you have this huge resistance here combined with this 618 resistance combined with the support or resistance in this case. So previous high plus support resistance plus the 618, a lot of factors saying it would continue to the downside, right? Or at least that it would be very hard to break up into this area. So something to be aware of. XRP maybe runs up to 51, 52 cents at the 60 cents at the super high, but that's where we want to watch out and see if it rejects from there. So let's go ahead and make a note. Boom. Say XRP 2.0 0.51 through 60 cents. Watch for rejection there. If breakout by retest. Cool. All right, now we'll just leave this chart. So we got XRP done, and now we move on to the next one. And I'm just gonna go through and do that for most of these charts. So if you have a question, you could throw it into the comments. If not, it's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna go through. You guys can follow along if you would like. All right, next is DOT. So first thing I'm doing, removing all my drawings. I'm gonna do that same basic scenario where I'm trying to find a range, set a range. I'm looking at it on the daily. All right, so kind of tough to call it out, but if I had to, it would be like right here. Okay, again, I'll point out why. Why would I call it out right there? Well, we got this first point where it touched here, right? It came down, touched that level. Tried to wick down here, didn't come. The next time it came down here, it actually broke that level. But then we put in a new level of support. And then one thing you should, or one thing I'll point out is, see right up here, once we did come down and break that level of support, we tried to break back above it. And then we came down and we tried to break back above there again. So we got this level one touch, the actual breakthrough, that's 2. And then we tried to retest to the top side, that's 3. So that's the reason why I put that line there on top. All right, cool. And then the bottom side is a little bit easier to call, right? Because it's been sitting on a floor. Price action has been sitting right there. It's already touched it 1, 2, 3 times. Remember, we're on a daily chart, so each one of these candles is a day, 1 day. So now we have our range defined, right? And just like we did last time, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to throw a reverse fib on, and we're going to take it from that last like spike high, right? So here was a spike high, here was a spike high, here was a spike high. So I could take it all the way from the top, but I'm actually going to take it from this last one before it went into the range. So let me go ahead and grab the fib, grab from there to the bottom side. Cool. Okay, so if you look at if we go back really quick to our last example, you can see that on this one, the fib was just, or the price action was just pushing into the 0.382. And then on DOT, you can see how far away it actually is from that 382 from the low. So what we can, concur from that is that you could long DOT right here with a stop loss anywhere below its last previous low, which is about $6, right? So you could have a easy risk to reward trade set up if you think that the market is going to bounce on the FOMC meeting news tomorrow. So basically, you would have a stop like right up under here, like let's say 580, and then just try to get back up to that first level. And you don't even have to go that high if you wanted to. You could try to come and get this level here, right? This is the first level that it's going to have to test. The price action would bounce here and then push up, and the first area would test is around $7.80. And if it did keep running, it would most likely, push up towards around $10. Not saying to take trades right now. It's a choppy market, especially if you're inexperienced. Just saying these are the things that we're looking at. So again, the biggest thing I took away from looking at this chart was when I was looking at XRP at first. Let me move this. When we first did XRP, the price is already pushing up to that first level of resistance at the 0.382, right? So we marked everything off, and then that's one thing. Okay, it looks like would get rejected right here. It usually doesn't break out on the first attempt, but maybe it will. Now when we go to the DOT chart, we can see it's nowhere near its 0.382. So DOT is showing relative weakness overall. Okay, so again, let's just mark everything off just like we did the last one really quick. So this was resistance. Remember, this is the top side, so that's resistance. And then you have support here, because it is on the bottom. All right, so right now sitting at support, we would like to see a bounce. The first area we would want to see it to bounce to is about $7.80. If it can take that out, then look for continuation up to 9. Oh wait, let's make a note. Sorry. And we're going to make this note. All right, so the note is dot looks weak, and the reason why it looks weak is, again, it's sitting on that support. So if it breaks down below that, something to be aware of. Dot looks weak. If bounce, look at 780. Continuation to 9.95. Currently bearish. Okay. So why are we bearish? Again, it continued to break down. It had this huge fall. It put in a we have this as a high, so I'll mark it off with the highlighter here. Market structure, right? This is a high. Came down, put in a low. Came down, put in a lower high. And now we're waiting to see if it comes down and puts in a lower low. Right? So the market structure right now does not look the best. Something to be aware of. Currently bearish on market structure, I'll say. Cool. All right. Keep going. All right, so that's XRP we've done. That's DOT we've done. We got ADA. Again, if you guys got any specific that you want, throw them in the comments. So Houston said you need a candle to open and close outside of support and resistance to truly break out. Yeah, so truly break out, like a confirmation breakout, right? So like if you want to confirm a breakout, let's see. Let me pull up a chart where I can show a breakout. What has recently broke out? I'll just show a breakout to the downside, actually. Okay, so Bitcoin here. Let me I don't want to mess up this chart. We'll do Solana. All right, so Houston was asking about a breakout, right? So if we're looking at Solana right here, and we'll just take kind of like this for an example. All right, so just look inside the yellow bars. So I'm going to invert this chart. Oops, I'm going to try to invert this chart. Give me 1 second. All right, so there we go. Okay, so now this chart is inverted. Okay, so this would look like a proper breakout, right? Let me draw in some support and resistance. So let's say this was here. Cool. Let's say this was here. Awesome. All right. Now again, remember we're on a daily time frame. So I'm zooming in here, and so again it's inverted, so don't get confused by the candle colors. Just look at the pattern that it's going. So okay, we had these candles break to the upside, right? That was the breakout. Then it came back down for the retest, and then it continued on. So that would be a true breakout. It needs to hold this level. So even though it broke out, it started to fade back underneath of that support. Eventually it picked back up. So that was a real breakout. It wasn't quite fake out, even though it looked like it was starting to be a fake out, right? Or right here, we have come back down for the retest. This is a clean retest of this level, and then boom, continues to push to the upside. So it doesn't necessarily need to be open and close. It just depends on the time frame you're on, right? So if you have, I like to do about 3 candles. So if I get 1 candle, let's say, to go back into this example here, if this is my first candle and it closes up top here, boom, that's 1 candle above, that's 2 candles above, this would be 3 candles above, right? And then I would have to have either my stop loss or understanding of where I would want to get out. So this would give me enough candles above to show that it holds, and then I would need to have a slight range. And in this case, I would use this previous top, right? So let me just draw. So I would have been monitoring this, and if this candle would have closed below this wick, if it would have closed below this high, then I most likely would have got out, right? So I know this is a little confusing because I did an inverted chart. But I'll show you as we continue to go through. All right, so now we are on, oops, fast forward. Oh, it's still inverted. There we go. All right, back to normal. Now we're on Cardano. Cardano has just been not looking so hot for quite some time. Okay, so let me remove all these drawings. All right, easy enough right from the gate for us to set a range, right? We got this spike high mixed with this little low right there. So we got, you can kind of call it that. That does enough for both of them, but if you want to get super particular, you can bring it more low, like, okay, that's the top side of the range, with this being the bottom side of the range. We'll do the previous spike high, which again, for sure, yep, I got you. So we got this spike high up here, so this is where our box is going to be because it's outside of the range. So for a breakout, we would need to hit that box. So let's go ahead and draw this box on there, boom. I draw the box from the top of these candles just to the bottom there. I run this box over. All right, so now I know this box is a huge level of resistance, right? We know that just because that's a, you know, first of all, it's a long ways to get up to get there. But then once you get there, that was the last time you had that big imbalance. And when I say imbalance, that means, or what I'm trying to like get across in that is that, let me zoom in here. When you have the price coming down like this, price coming down, price coming down, price coming down, then you have a big spike, a lot of people try to get in, then you have this big spike, all the people that just bought in on this green candle immediately sold off. So not those same people, it's a new rotation of people, right? So group A all bought in on that green candle, and then you had group Z who had already bought in, like got rid of, you know, their funds. So, you know, you got group Z where the candle, or where this arrow is starting up here, they bought in, they held all the way down to here, they get this spike. Now group A gets in on this spike and group Z gets out, right? And now it comes, price comes back down, this spike, now group A is able to get out while group B gets in, so on and so forth. So that's why these levels are hard to overcome, and they're important to keep an eye out on. And that is these levels right there. So right there. All right. Now again, we're gonna run that fib. Oops. We're gonna run that fib from this spike high down to this spike low. Okay. Similar to what we had with DOT, right, where it was showing a lot of weakness. It would have to take out first this area, this previous 52 cents area, just to push up to get to 59, and then at 59 you would have to see how it reacts to continue going up to 65, but it's been showing so much weakness that it doesn't quite seem likely. And then when you just think about it from a market structure perspective, right, just market structure, I mean, this is one of the, let's remove everything we just did. This is one of the clearest market structures where you had this high, then a low, then a high, then a low, then a high, then a low, lower low, right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and so on and so forth. And it's just continuing on. So until we see some type of reversal with price moving somewhat like this, right, it would have to come up and test this area, right? That's the box that we drew. It's not here anymore. That's the box though. So it'd have to come up and test that box, come back down, hold this previous area. So it needs to hold at least there, right? And then continue up. And now it's going to go test this area, right? And that's the type of market structure, you know, not perfectly, but that's what you would need for that reversal. So it does look like it's starting to create a floor, which is good. But until that market structure really reverses, then it's kind of hard to jump deep into it. Okay, so really quick, so we can have this here for next time. Let me put this here. So bearish on MS, market structure. So bearish on market structure. We got the price that we were looking to was 52 cents, which, you know, it's not very far. So 52 cents could happen in a day, no big deal. 52 cents up to 59 cents. I believe where the range is. So let's just leave that there. Let me do it one more time really quickly. So boom. We had this high here. We had this fib. 59.50, yeah. All right, and we'll see with the push up to 65. Possible 0.65, but unlikely. Okay, so next I'm gonna throw Ethereum Classic on here. So what is that? ETC. Ethereum Classic. And I am looking at the perpetuals on all these, so some charts may be just a little bit different. Do be aware. All right. So much volatility on this thing. Let me see if I can get it with the longer data set. TC. Bitfinex. Or if you have a specific exchange you want me to look on, let me know. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so from a quick level view, right here, obviously you got this bottom side range. Sorry, I accidentally zoomed in there. It's been making lower highs on market structure, right? We've been moving to the, so here's the high, low, higher low, lower low, higher low, technically, right? Because here's the high, or lower high, I'm sorry. So you definitely want to see price bounce between 2750 and 2350. Let me see here. Okay, so this is a good example. So remember we were talking about that box and how hard it was going to be to actually break above all these boxes that we drew, right? So really quick, just to go back to the previous examples, we said XRP has this box up top. It's going to be hard to break through. You know, DOT has this, of course I didn't put it in there. DOT has the box. ADA has that box. So the same thing is happening here with the Ethereum Classic, right? It has this box that it has to break above that previous high point. And then you can see it got rejected 3 different times, right? So rejection, rejection, and then another rejection. So it'll be interesting to see if it can get back above there. But as it would stand right now, right, everything is bearish for the most part just because the macro environment is bearish. But as it would stand right now, you have a bunch of lower highs and the macro environment the way it is. Now let's throw our fib on, and it looks like this already retraced to the 618. This will be interesting to see. All right, so this is a spike high outside of our lower range. Boom, boom. So it did break above the 618 resistance. So it had resistance here. It did break back above it. And right now it's sitting on a fib level. Of course, why wouldn't it be? All right, so let me zoom in a little bit here. So if you believe in it, then I would say you can try to pick it up on a wick basis around 20 cents. I mean, this is definitely would be obviously be more of just a trade, but you could catch a pump if it did bounce from there. But you got a lot of resistance sitting now back as under $38.30. So this mark right here. So once it got rejected from that box and then it came back under price is gonna have to fight. It's gonna have to hold where it is. Oops. What's going on here? Uh-oh. I think my internet just, oh. I'm back. All right. So price is gonna have to hold where it's at right now, or it might wick down here, come back up. But this is where the true test, getting back above that $38 mark. Because if not, if the next rejection should send it lower. And again, the reasoning why is just because you already have that box side top pressure, so this actual box, but then you have those previous highs lined up with the 618. You worked hard to get above it once. You can see on 2 consecutive days. On Ethereum Classic. All right. So I'm gonna keep going. What time is it? 6:48. Do a few other ones. Let's go through Ethereum, which sucks. ETH had this big sell the news event, but it is what it is. Part of the game, right? Oh, this is drawings from last time, so let me remove all my drawings. All right, cool. So first thing we're gonna do, again, just draw that little range. So we put in the base down here. And it can be above the wick. It's, you know, a little bit of personal preference there. All right. So I'm drawing a few more ranges here on Ethereum, just because it did battle back. But you can see I drew those ranges here, right? So this was the bottom and the top of this little range. Then we had the bottom where it's at right now and this little top. And then the top over here mixed with this bottom, right? So watch when I go back and do these again. So it's completely plain. And then you got your bottom, obviously, is a, you know, definitely a place you're going to have support. That's where it's supporting it at the second, right? And now where's my next like little floor, bottom, or top? Okay, well, I see these spiked up right here. That's like a little level because both those candles spiked there. All right, so there's a little top. Okay, now here's a clear floor. It came down to spike down and then it just broke through. So that's a floor to me. So I'm going to draw that. And then wouldn't you know it, me drawing this floor over here just happens to be also a top side over here, right? And then, okay, well, this is clearly a top side right here. And this is clearly a top side. So let me draw in another top side there. Right, now I just broke down all these little ranges that are going on. And once you know the range that something is in, the better idea you can get of the move it might make. And now, just like we did last time, we're going to go from this spike high down to where we're at currently and see where the 618 is. This was a spike high down to where we're currently at. The 618 is coincides perfectly with this level of support and resistance right here. And remember, these yellow lines are just like the ones we marked off where this one would be support, you know, it's supporting it right there. Just like it was right here for these candles, it was support, right? You see, right here, it acted as a R, acted as resistance. You know, right here, acted as a R. Right here, acted as a R. And now we'll just get rid of that just to make it easier to see. All right, so obviously the R's is where it got pushed down. The S is where it got held up. So we can move this S right here. This S is good right here. And then we want to see a S right here, right? We want to see another S right here and hold this as support. And our target is going to be at least 1750 from 13 where it's at right now. And now let's go ahead and remove everything. Just look at market structure. Market structure on Ethereum did break, but it's still better than some of the other ones that we had. So obviously this was the low. Put in a high. Right now it's a higher low, which is good. And then we want to try to come and put in a higher high. And then pretty much just, you know, continue that up. So boom, boom, boom. Come here, here, so on and so forth. All right, so we said Ethereum, it needs to hold where it's at right now, about 1300, 1250. Maybe a wick basis to 1200, and then a possible move back to 1750 is where I want to see. That coincides with the resistance level at 1750, but also with the 618 fib level. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Now, as far as the time range goes for all of these, right, we've talked about using the RSI previously, but the same type of thing. You can use a stochastic RSI. It's usually what I use. I do like, swing trading a little bit more just because I use market structure a lot. But when you have the RSI sitting on the bottom, especially on a daily candle, or looking at daily candles, usually, this oscillates, right? So you see it on the bottom here, then it oscillates to the upside. See it on the bottom here, it oscillates to the upside, and vice versa. Whether you're looking at it on the top, it'll oscillate to the downside, however you want to look at it. But at the end of the day, things become overbought and oversold. So you would want to see this start to curl up. Once you see that red line curl up and continue to move to the upside, then let me see where that would have to be for that to happen. And the way you can find that is by taking the swing high and the swing low and finding the first fib level. So the price would need to be about 1480 before this oscillator starts to turn to the upside. So once the price gets to about 1480, you'll see this oscillator start turning to the upside. The longer the price stays at that level, 1480, the longer and higher it'll go. And as the price continues to move up, the oscillator will move up with it. So something to keep an eye on. All right, so there's 4 we did: XRP, DOT, ADA, and ETH, and Ethereum Classic. And I'm going to hop on tomorrow morning and do 4 more. So we'll see what happens with the FOMC meeting. Hopefully I'll catch y'all, hop on. It'll be early my time. But yeah, tap in then. Appreciate y'all. Catch you on the next one.